Man, you got a lot of guilty pleasures, bro. Stop picking
Yeah,
these
what
garbage
can I
live
say?
action. Nah, man, we gotta stick to this. Let's stick to the facts, man. That movie only did well because Angelina Jolie was in it,
And I may be in the minority with this, but the Van Damme Street Fighter. It's a, it's a cheesy film, but I like it. It got a lot of nostalgia value for me.
Nah, man, I can't agree with you on Street Fighter, man.
You can develop it and make it suck you in way better than a movie can.
I heard he blew that whole salary on. Bing bong, stand clear of the closing doors. Welcome to another episode of the Cinema Subway. As usual, your hosts, myself, Los, Gabby, and Akash. How are you guys? How you doing?
Good, how are
Going on,
you?
y'all?
Yeah. Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm doing well myself. Um. So I want to jump right into it, man. Last episode we were getting a little heated, a little talkative on the topic of live action video game movies. I know we have a lot to say on them. I'm sure we have a couple we like, we love, we hate. Definitely want to hear your guys' picks. You know, um, as usual, ladies first. Gabby, do you have a video game movie that I don't know that you love, that you hate? I would love to hear it.
Sure. I'm gonna go with Mortal Kombat. So it's gonna be the original
Right,
Mortal Kombat,
the first one, the one that
and
came
then
out in the '90s. Yeah,
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 that one holds a special place. If you hear that song is also very important. The Mortal Kombat song.
yeah,
Um, I think for the time, it did do justice to the movie, where it had enough characters in it for it to make sense. The storyline was whatever the storyline was. There wasn't really a storyline in Mortal Kombat. They had to do whatever they needed to do,
mhm.
but the characters made that movie.
Yeah. No,
Moves everyone
there was
from the
yeah,
game.
there
yeah.
was. I definitely agree. I love that first Mortal Kombat. I remember going to see it in high school with my buddies. We were really, I mean, that was the game of the time. You know, if it wasn't Mortal
Right.
Kombat, it was Street Fighter.
But I'm
And
also gonna say on that note, I
right,
also enjoyed the 2021 Mortal Kombat.
I did
I
too.
thought
Yeah,
that one was done very well.
Yeah,
I didn't have any
absolutely.
expectations. I didn't think it could touch 1. Mortal Kombat 2 in the '90s was it was fine,
hot trash.
but alright, we could call it hot trash. I think there's still no, it was hot trash. Some of
Yeah,
the
that was that
CGI, I think
Mortal
that one's known
Kombat.
for how bad
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
mhm, I think it's known for how bad the CGI is, but
Yeah,
it was terrible. But the
horrible.
one in 2021 I think
Yeah,
had a better story. It had, of course, the tournament, that's the only story they could really do, but the character development, I think they did really well. So I really enjoyed the Mortal Kombat 2021 version.
yeah.
Yeah, I
The
thought that was
definitely
really good.
the blood and gore definitely got upped
Mhm.
up and what was missing from the original.
Right.
Yeah, they're both really well done. Yeah. Same. Do you feel the same, Akash? Do you like the first Mortal Kombat?
Oh, I'm such a sucker for that first Mortal Kombat. I I can't tell you how many times I've watched that movie,
Yeah,
and I enjoy it every time I watch it. I think everybody in that movie is just really great, and it's a really good example of like a really good cheesy '90s action flick that doesn't take itself too seriously, but doesn't also harbor on being a bad movie.
yeah.
Um, Now the second one, however, oh my god, do you guys remember that scene where he goes, "Mother, you're alive," and she goes, "Too bad, you will die." It's it's one of the worst scenes ever, but I laugh every time I see that scene because it's hilarious. That line is it kills me every time. But yeah, I do like Mortal Kombat. I actually do like the and I may be in the minority with this, but the Van Damme Street Fighter. It's a it's it's a cheesy film, but I like it. It got a lot of nostalgia value for me. Is it good? No, maybe not as good as the Mortal Kombat movie, but I still enjoy it every time I watch it. And to add to Gabby's point about the 2021, I thought the 2021 as well was really, really good. And I can't wait for the sequel for that one.
Nah, man, I can't agree with you on Street Fighter, man. I remember
I don't think a
looking
lot of people will.
I remember looking forward to it and expecting some close to the video game, and most of the characters weren't even, like I don't get me wrong, Sean Claude Van Damme, he was probably one of the biggest action stars, but what we got there was primo cocained out Sean Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
I heard he blew that whole salary on coke. I'm sure he was throwing sonic booms in his trailer.
So
But
wait, I think
it's a pretty bad movie. Yep.
For Street Fighter, wasn't that Raul Julia?
Yeah, rest
That
in
was
peace, Raul Julia.
Bison?
Yeah.
So I read a story that he did that movie because his kids played the game, and like that was the only reason he said yes to that, so that he could be in a
Yeah.
movie that he knew they would watch. Like I think he was like close to the end, like he knew he was sick, right?
That's what I heard, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I give him props for that, for being in a terrible movie, but I think
Yeah,
that
man. What a
was
what a way
incredibly
to
sweet.
what a way to shit on your legacy, though. I mean,
I know.
this dude was like a star of like of screen and theater and like an actor's actor, and then he shits the
He did
bed
it for his kids.
with I know
You
that's
should
that's
know, you're a
great.
dad.
I know that's the only reason why I give it a pass. But man, what a way to end a career with that movie. That's your last known credit was M. Bison. You know that was
For
man,
the
but
kids.
he's an awesome actor, and probably if I had to say anything positive was that he was in the movie, and he gave it credibility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
Also do want to add in there. I do like Did you guys see Gran Turismo last year?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think that was a really great movie based on the Gran Turismo film, but it wasn't really it's a real life story that happened where this kid basically he was like such a great Gran Turismo player, right? And he was into like simulator racing and all of this. And they had a competition where they pulled the best sim racers for Gran Turismo and they put them in an actual car and started racing them. And like he made it as far as going to well, you know what? I'm not even going to say it, but I think if you guys get a chance, it's a really good movie. One of those movies it's not bad at all, and it's a really uplifting film.
Yeah, I think I heard about that one. So it's based on a true story, right? So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
kid was
yeah, it
so
is.
good at Gran Turismo that he was picked for this thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was a really good example of a good video game movie.
Yeah.
I also really like their guilty pleasure, but I really like the Lara Croft movie with Angelina Jolie. I thought they were.
Uh, Man, you got a lot of guilty pleasures, bro. Stop picking these these
What
garbage
can I
live
say?
action. Nah, man, we gotta stick to this. Let's stick to the facts, man. That movie only did well because Angelina Jolie was in it. It wasn't a
I
good
thought it was
video
pretty
game movie.
dope.
She was beautiful. She was beautiful in that movie.
She
So
was,
that's
eh,
true. But
eh,
yeah, hot
but
garbage. You
yeah,
know who's in
that
that?
movie
Daniel
was.
Craig.
You know
Daniel
what?
Craig was also
Daniel
in it.
Craig's a little
You know
toothpick in
what?
that movie.
I'm gonna stop pandering to the us as kids loving these movies that really sucked. I'm done with playing with the nostalgia factor. If
Mm,
it doesn't carry well into today's time, that movie's gonna get two thumbs down from me, man. That's
wow.
I looked over, I glanced over like a list. It's not a very large list, to believe it or not. There's a lot of
I believe
shit.
it.
There's a lot.
It's
There's a
terrible.
lot of terrible movies. There's very few and far between that I can say holds up well and was actually executed well to represent what a video game was, because
Yeah,
these
yeah,
video games were successful without there
yeah,
having to be a movie. And the reason why, you know, creating a video game into a movie is so difficult because you're leaving out the aspect that you're actual playing the character, right? You're interacting with that storyline. Whereas in a movie, you're not really interacting, you're just watching it. So you miss a lot of that interaction, and that's why a lot of these video game movies fail to capture the true essence that the video game set out to do. That's why I think like Lara Croft Tomb Raider wasn't good. I think one of the better ones to me was the first Resident Evil. I thought that was a really
Yeah.
well done video game movie. You know, the sequels all hot garbage. They I don't know what happened with
Yeah.
that, but that first one really was well done. It was executed perfectly.
What about Silent Hill? Did you guys like Silent Hill?
I was gonna say that next. Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil and the first Silent Hill, I think captured both pretty well. Silent
And
Hill was
Yeah.
really disturbing and disgusting, but so was the video game. The video game
yeah,
was so creepy, and I think they captured
Mm.
that pretty well
yeah.
in the movie.
And what's crazy is, you know, that Resident Evil and the first Mortal Kombat was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. He was the same guy who did both movies.
Mhm.
So obviously this guy
Oh
knows
yeah.
how to
Yeah.
yeah, he I mean, don't get me wrong, let's forget about the ones he did later on, but those first two initial ones really were just spot on, perfect video game to movie live action.
Ooh. Here's one for you guys. What about Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban?
You know what? I like Carl Urban, and I'm not the biggest fan of The Rock, but I don't know. I'll that's like in the middle for me. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it.
I don't remember Doom.
Credit where credit is due. Um, that movie tried to put you into that first person aspect of the video game, which I thought was a pretty cool scene. I actually rewatch that scene every now and then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. Like
Yeah,
I
I
said,
haven't seen that.
I might have to rewatch that one. But I'm kind of like tired of seeing The Rock. So
Yeah, yeah. Now,
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
here's
it's
one
like
that
me and
I
Chris Pratt.
actually
What happened,
here's one that
Gabby?
I actually really like.
Me and Chris
Oh,
Pratt.
Yeah,
Chris Pratt is
like
The
you're
Rock.
yeah. You were saying,
okay.
Akash?
Hold on. Before I continue, I was just laughing last week when Gabby mentioned that Super Mario's she thought it was a bad movie,
Oh
and all the
yeah.
knives were turned
What?
on her, and she had to clarify herself. Gabby, you
That
came
I
that
stand by it.
this
yeah,
close to being vanished.
that first movie though. I'm sorry, that one. You know, that's I think that was like the first ever video game movie ever. So I don't know if I want to cut it some slack for it being the first. But that what a terrible way to begin like live action video game movies. That was such a I don't know who was in that room thinking this was gonna be a good idea.
Terrible.
Let me guess, Akash, you loved it.
No, I don't actually. I thought it's bad.
Can you pull up the Koopas? They're still like nightmare fuel. They're so scary.
Oh yeah, they look like weird miniature head turtle. Like it was the weirdest looking thing ever.
Wasn't
Terrible,
wasn't
terrible
Dennis
creature
Hopper
design.
Bowser in that movie?
Oh, they're
Who?
so scary. I hate them.
Wasn't doesn't Dennis Hopper Bowser in that movie?
Yeah, he was Bowser, yeah.
It's so
And you know what's crazy is like I've noticed that there's like this like theme that a lot of these video game movies, you know, initially they had a big budget and they were able to get like
yeah,
these huge mega stars or just like household names or you know like Dennis Hopper or you know Mario had John Leguizamo and like you know you had these guys who are like good actors, but you know I guess you know work is work, right, guys?
yeah.
You know.
All
Now
about
I was
all
gonna
about
say,
sentiment.
um, originally that I don't know. I'm 50-50 with this one because this one is technically considered an anime, but the video games are also pretty huge, and that's the Detective Pikachu movie. Now,
Mm.
me, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, to this day,
That's not a video
and
game movie though.
I don't know, man.
Nope. I'm sorry.
What?
You don't think so?
That
Nope.
started off as a cartoon that
Mhm.
spawned video
Okay,
games. Yeah,
I'll give you that. All right.
whereas Mario was a video game first and then it spawned
Mm.
TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'll
I,
give you that.
I don't
He's
e-
drawing the line. Sorry, Akash.
yeah,
Drawing the line.
Yeah.
I don't even include video game animations because uh, they have there's sky's the limit with those animations. They can draw whatever they want. They can mimic the same thing a video game does. That's why I thought the Super Mario animation one that came out a year and a half, 2 years ago was spectacular because it was such a duplicate of what we were already playing for the last 30, 40 years with Mario, you know? I'm talking about like using real life actors to pull off video game characters, you know? Uh like live action.
Yeah.
And I have a belief that most live actors just do not fit, you know, the criteria to pull off a video game or even any type of media, be it like um we could easily say like Dragon Ball Z. Remember that movie?
Oof.
Yeah.
No, I
Terrible. Yeah,
completely
oof.
forgot
Yeah.
about it.
Oof
Who
is
wants
right.
to?
That's
Oh no.
right.
Why'd you
So
bring that back into my brain, Carlos?
sorry,
Why?
sorry. Trauma inducing memory there.
Terrible.
But, you know, it's a lot of things just don't translate well to live action, and the ones that do, you know, which is a difficult thing to do, I think needs applause. That's why I don't and I love Detective Pikachu. I thought that was a great movie. I just don't consider it a video game
Yeah.
movie. It's more of a based off the cartoon series.
Well, I'm
Right.
also glad that you mentioned video games that are that have like animation, be it the movies or TV series, because I was actually just about to pull from a TV series which is based off of a video game that I thought was really good, and that's Castlevania, the one
Oh,
on
yeah, that was good,
Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was a really fantastically
Yeah,
done series. But again, that's animation, and like you
yeah.
said, with those, the sky's the limit on those.
Yeah, man. Animation, like, it's very tough to kinda mess up that, you know?
Yeah.
I was
They
thinking
can
or even all the Final Fantasy
yeah,
animations. All those movies were great. But
yeah.
again, they
Yeah,
can go do
you know,
whatever.
I'm talking about hot garbage like Tekken or Max
Oh.
Payne, you know?
Ooh, that was bad.
Oh, Max Payne.
What
I
Yeah,
saw
about
that movie once and
Assassin's
I was like,
Creed?
"I'm ready to be done with this."
what happened,
Assassin's Creed?
Gabby? Aside I feel like I feel like I think not they're not great either, but at least they were attempting to put, like, big names and big budgets behind it, but they just I don't know, they don't do well with the audience, you know? I think the only we were kinda talking about this last week. The only one that apparently I feel is successful, and I love this series, is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even it's a mix of live action and animation, which I think lend it's perfect. Um, it 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 it's a nice balance between the two, and I think those movies are. I haven't hated any of them. I love them all. They're all fantastic. I'm looking forward to the part three.
No, I mean, I seen both of them, and I love both those
Yeah,
movies. And originally, I thought they were gonna be a cheesy child's flick too, but they turned out to be really, really good. And,
yeah,
partly, well, most of that has to do with Jim Carrey being so freaking charismatic. And I'm glad that he came back into Hollywood to do this movie because, man,
yeah,
he's so good in those movies.
yeah,
Yeah, we touched on this last week, but he's
yeah.
the main reason I watch them still. Everything he does. Sometimes I just watch his is it the dance scene that he does? It's so ridiculous.
No,
It's so good.
yeah. I know one of the more recent ones. That video game movies that I liked was Uncharted. Even though I never played the video game,
Mhm.
I did enjoy watching that movie. And it was good chemistry with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg.
I haven't seen that one yet,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
I didn't think
I'm
it was bad. I thought it was
yeah.
entertaining. I
I
think a
liked
lot of people, yeah, would have problems with it if they played the game. Nathan Drake is, I think their main complaint was Nathan Drake was young. They didn't
yeah,
think
Yeah.
Tom Holland was like the correct age or like build,
yeah,
but I thought he did well. I didn't have a problem with it. But
yeah.
again, I also didn't play the game.
I just I have a soft spot for like movies having to do with treasure hunting. That's why I'm a big fan of like Indiana Jones or like the National
Yeah,
Treasure
yeah.
movies. You know, I like that whole mystery and then looking for something. And I dug it. I thought it was a good action movie. It had good pacing. It was one of the better ones I remember watching that year.
You
Were
know,
you a
at
pirate in another life?
Hmm?
Were you a pirate in another life?
Well, I think I
Yeah.
was, you know, with my Peg leg. You know, interesting.
I wasn't.
Interesting fact about pirates that I just learned recently that Morgan Freeman wears a very expensive gold ring. I think on either one or both lobes and both ears, right? And
Hmm.
they asked him, why why he wears expensive gold jewelry. He said it's a pirate thing. Sailors back then would when you were I'm talking about hundreds of years ago when you were a sailor. If you died at sea or you just died somewhere where you weren't close to home, the earring was exchanged to give you a burial. It would pay for your
Mm,
burial. So Morgan
Mm.
Freeman, you know, in case he gets caught in some country where he needs to, sell his earrings to get buried, he's okay. Even though he probably has, millions of dollars in the bank, but he needs
Yeah,
those gold earrings on his ears to make sure he gets buried.
yeah, he's set. He's set for his funeral.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I would like to think I was a pirate in a former life.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. What is it?
yeah,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
but going back to the Uncharted films, yeah, I haven't seen that one as of yet. I don't know. I was kind of off put by the fact that Tom Holland was playing Nathan Drake, and I get that they were going for a more younger Nathan Drake, but I've been following the development of that movie for years, and at one point Nathan Fillion was attached to be in that film,
Oh
and I
yeah.
was like super excited. Yeah, I wanted Nathan Fillion in that film. I thought he resembled Nathan Drake a lot, and I was like, yo, this is great casting right here. And then at one point it went to Mark Wahlberg as
Right.
well, and finally it landed in Tom Holland, who I guess, I like Tom Holland. He's whatever for me. I just wasn't really too excited for him to be Nathan Drake.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Here's
Nathan
a
Fillion was the better choice. I think
Yeah,
he's always like a fan favorite, and then I feel like he never gets the right thing to happen to him.
yeah,
Like he was in
Yeah,
Serenity, and then Serenity wasn't renewed, and I feel like he always gets the short end of the stick. But he's a
yeah,
really good
yeah.
actor. I really like Nathan Fillion too.
hold on, Cinema Subway audience.
Oh,
We're having technical difficulties. One of our
oh wow,
podcaster
what the
hosts
hell is?
is something happened with his camera. We always strive to bring you the best experience, high quality, but sometimes technical difficulties do happen. Our man behind the scenes, Molly Mall, is working to fix our technical difficulty. So, you know, please bear with
Yeah,
us. But as I was saying before, there's not that many movies that have actually done live action video games. There's a ton of TV shows that straight to television. I'm seeing. Like I said, I'm not including animated stuff. We're just discussing stuff that actually hit the movie theaters that we actually went and paid our hard-earned money to go see.
yeah, yeah. No, you're definitely right though. There, in the sea of movies that were adapted for video games, the bad ones outweigh the good ones.
Yeah, it
It's
really
very
is.
rare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I
know,
think
like,
they need to be TV shows. I think the ones that will do it better will be TV shows because
yeah,
you're talking about such an expansive world that they create, which I said in the last episode. But they're creating this, and like it's another planet that they're creating. It's another world that they're
yeah,
creating, and they only have 2 hours to get into it,
mhm,
whereas a show
Yeah, yeah,
has multiple episodes to create this thing when the character development's different, the writing's going to be different. You can develop it and make it suck you in way better than a movie can.
yeah. I
So
agree.
The Last of Us was, I think it was good. I didn't play the game, but people loved it. The Last
Yeah,
of Us, I think universally was liked by a lot of people. I thought it was a very good show. I don't know. For me, it was a little slow, but universally everyone liked it. Um, I'm just tired of zombie things. So I feel like it just became another zombie kind of thing for me. But I think it did do the video game justice from the way that it was received by everyone. Everyone was praising it for a very good video game adaptation.
I love the game. It was actually one of the reasons why I went out and bought a PS4 back then was be it was because of that, and it was also because of Uncharted. And I thought as an adaptation, it fully delivered. Um, and I do agree. Some episodes did feel a little slow, and some I felt were very unnecessary, especially that one episode with what's his name from Parks and Rec. I thought that episode
Ken
was
Offerman.
yeah. Nick Offerman, yeah.
Oh,
While it was
Nick.
a really good episode, it felt completely unnecessary, and it felt like it could have been something for a different series. But nonetheless, the show was really good. Um, I liked it a lot. But
Yeah, me
I
too.
actually want to now that you brought up zombies, have any of you guys actually seen the 28 years later trailer yet?
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
it.
I
It
watched
looks
the
it looks
trailer.
good.
I'm actually looking forward to this one. Apparently, this movie was filmed entirely on an iPhone 15.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll watch it because I want to see how it was filmed. But I'm with Gabby. I'm a little zombied out already
Yeah,
with the genre. Just I think it's been done to death. No pun intended. But it's yeah that they're overdoing it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I want to see Danny Boyle's you know third movie, but I don't know if I'm that super excited for it.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I said the same thing when I watched Train to Busan a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and I ended up really, really loving that movie.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be refreshing. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think we live in an age where the zombie genre is so oversaturated. You have things like The Last of Us, and then you have like a million spin-offs of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from
Yeah.
with being quote unquote zombied out.
Yeah. House of the Dead was another live action movie from based off a video game, and that was another horrible movie to sit through.
Yeah, I've never seen
You
it.
know? Yeah,
That was my
it's
favorite
again
that
just
was my favorite game though. House of the Dead was a really fun game.
it was a great game, but that movie
Yeah,
was
the
not
game was
great.
great.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But just kind of looking at this list here, and another movie that wasn't good was Hitman,
Oh
starring
yeah.
starring Luigi Mangione. You heard that guy got caught? Yo, the hitman got caught. Yo, that's crazy. How you get caught by the cops? How you slip up like that?
Because he left New York, that's why. He left New
Um,
York and
he
someone
got
ratted on him.
he got sloppy. You know that it was a McDonald's employee who ratted him.
Yeah,
For
that's what I
sure.
heard.
Shameful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Look, if you're being offered 10K, I don't know. I might be snitching on somebody too. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna hate that person for getting the bag, but this guy was coming off kind of like a hero to most people, which is insane because he murdered somebody in cold blood. He literally pulled off a hitman assassination, live action style. Like,
Yeah.
Y- you guys got to read some of the comments. It's ridiculous of people trying to like cover for him. Like I was going through a post on Instagram earlier of the article where he got caught, and there's all these like, of course they're jokes and everything, but I thought
right?
these comments were funny. Like some people were like, "Yo, it can't be him. He was chilling in my house for like the last
Yeah,
two
they were saying,
weeks."
yeah, he was with me the other day. Yeah,
Yeah,
What
the
was the
the
reward? The reward for him was 10,000?
at last, I think it went up to like 30. I think.
Mhm. Alright,
But
that'll do it for the McDonald's person.
yeah, the funny thing I came across was that people were so mad that the McDonald's employee snitched and called the cops that they all went on Yelp and they started crapping on McDonald's and saying, "Don't go there. There's a bunch of rats there." Like they gave it like negative like one review. Like they went in like hundreds of people posted negative things about this McDonald's.
I don't know how real it is, right? But about an hour ago when I was on Instagram, I saw a post, um, and it was a Burger King post, and it was like, "We won't snitch."
Oh damn. Yo, the
I
king don't snitch,
I
bro.
don't know how serious I don't know how serious it is. I'm trying to pull that up.
I mean, look, the reality is the guy needed to be arrested. I mean, he killed somebody. He whatever his message, although let's how am I saying it? He went about it the wrong way, right? I guess he was
Yeah,
really trying to get eyes on his manifesto and how these corporations and these health insurance companies are involved in devious practices and they deny claims and it put a spotlight on those things. Yeah, was there another way about going, doing this, like putting a spotlight on it? I mean, I'm sure there was killing the CEO and destroying the family and a father, like sons who are gonna have no father in their life. Yeah,
well,
but
have you got did you guys hear that, apparently he tried to run away, right? And he dropped, like, a bag of cash, and it was, like, Monopoly money?
yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
yeah, it it,
Like, yo,
it, it
you can't make
it's
this shit up.
he can like they caught him with a ghost gun, forged ID. They caught him with his manifesto on him. Uh, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how he got sloppy, man. For a guy who came off looking like a professional hitman who was cold and calculated, he basically got caught at McDonald's eating a hash brown. Like that's nuts. Like this guy had like degrees in like data and AI. He knew like you don't think that they would have used his eyes, like whatever part of his face he was showing, that they were gonna use that as facial recognition. Like
You thought he was Barry for a second.
I guess, man.
Yeah.
I guess. But
I think it is just all what was he sick? Was he like was his insurance denied or something, or his claim was denied? Like his personal claim was denied? Or was he just like upset about the healthcare in the United States?
I heard he
Yeah.
had he got denied some surgery because he was an athlete. Um, but I'm pretty sure his manifesto will come to light and it'll go over, it'll go over why he did it, you know. At least now
Well
the family can move on and start healing, I guess.
regardless, whatever the reason why he killed this dude or whatever this dude may have done, you know, glorifying a criminal who's killed somebody is never the way to go.
Yeah,
Um,
it really
and
isn't.
I, and I know for some people it's just they're having fun with it. It's not really serious for them. But I
Yeah,
know there are people out there that are probably looking at this guy and are probably looking at him as a hero. And I'm just gonna say that's just not it. That's
yeah,
you don't glorify somebody like this, you know?
yeah, yeah. No one has the right to take someone else's life. No matter how, I mean, I get, like I said, time will tell. They're gonna do like some psychological eval on him, and they're gonna get to the bottom of what made him tick. You know?
Yeah, and no one has the right to take someone's life unless you're
No.
John Wick and they killed your dog. That's the
Yeah.
only valid reason.
This is one of those things where like uh life imitates art, art imitates life.
Yeah.
Like this is something that you would come across in a movie or a TV show, and it's happening in real life. And probably a lot of the movies we watch come from these real life events. They're even saying that they what's the James Franco youngest brother, what's his name?
Dave Franco?
Yeah, he looks kind of like Luigi Mangione, and they're like, oh, they should have him play him in the movie.
I was
Yeah.
already talking about the movie rights and the
They
life
already
rights.
thought, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're already saying like, oh, Netflix is gonna come out with the true life events.
Yeah, I mean, it's listen, this is bound to get made into like a movie at some point, you know.
Yeah,
The story just writes itself. And unfortunately, people like this, they do get glorified, but like I said, it's just wrong to glorify somebody like this.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, I kind of want to say my final say on our little movie topic. So, uh, the last few movies that came out, I don't know if anybody's seen Five Nights at Freddy's.
I did. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard it was good too.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I like it.
and and the late one of the latest ones that is already out for streaming is Borderlands, which I heard was terrible. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it bombed. You
I
know?
heard it was good.
Yeah. Oh man.
Horrible.
Or
Who
am I
you hang?
thinking of no, that's a show, right? Borderlands?
No, you're thinking
No, no.
about what's that one called with
Fallout.
Fallout?
Fallout was good?
Fallout. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
Fallout
Fallout
was
was
good.
great.
Yeah.
Fallout was good.
You haven't seen
Borderlands,
Fallout yet,
I
Carlos?
Huh?
You haven't seen Fallout yet?
Not yet. Not yet. It's on my
Oh
list.
man, do yourself a favor, bro. It's really good.
Yeah. And
But
and one movie that's actually coming out, which I think, well, so far from what I'm seeing, I'm not liking, is that Minecraft movie with Jack Black and
mm,
what's
yeah,
that
I don't know
Jason
how I feel
Jason
about that.
Momoa. I don't know. I just I wasn't sold with that trailer. You know.
No,
I love Jack Black, but I'm getting a little tired of him too. He's
yeah,
interesting.
become very
I get that.
one-dimensional. Yeah, I just saw a movie with him, and my kid walked out halfway. He was not interested. It was Dear Santa, where he plays
Oh,
Satan.
I was gonna watch that.
Yeah, I
Don't
It's
was gonna watch that too.
it's I, it's not it's not horrible, but it's not great either. And
Mm.
it's just Jack Black being Jack Black. You
mm,
know, it's you're either gonna love his shtick or you're gonna find it annoying. And this one it was okay, but but my kid was not into it. He was like, "I'm
Oh,
out of here.
right.
This movie sucks." You know. But I am looking forward to Sonic 3, and I think that's gonna be great.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
Um, before we also sign off, I do want to address some things here. Um, as many of you have known, last week I was suffering from arthritis. I don't I don't understand how arthritis affects my thinking process, but yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
It
I have
inflames
may
the
have
brain.
said a few may have said a few things that I would like to let you know is not true. I do not approve of whatever I said. I've watched it back and I was like, damn, this really must be arthritis because what the hell is this? Um, I I do think that Krampus is a really well done, really good Christmas horror film. So that's number one. Number two, I stick by my Avengers take. That movie is still hot duty for me. So that's number two. And number three, if you like Tenet and if you think Tenet is the best Christopher Nolan film, get yourself checked. I don't like Tenet. I think it's a something else with film. And if you like it, then listen, go watch another Christopher Nolan film. Thank you. That's all.
wow. Okay.
God has spoken.
Yeah. Very very well said,
Thank you.
Akash.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I said those stuff last week, but I was clearly not in the right headspace.
Right. It's something going around, I guess, right?
I know, man. It is.
Arthritis, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't get the arthritis, people. Take care of yourselves. Go get yourself checked.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, some a couple of housekeeping items as usual. Uh, please follow us at Instagram at the Cinema Subway, where we post more stuff in between our weekly episodes. We also created a TikTok account. Go check that out. Where I believe Akash, you're running that account, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll keep it different over there too. Offer some different things over there for the TikTok
Yep.
crowd. As always, please subscribe, like, comment, all of that. It helps us grow. It helps us keep doing these videos, which we're having fun doing. Um, I don't really have any you know parting thoughts. We're upon the holidays, so I'm pretty sure the next episode or two will be having a couple Christmas conversations. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I got a few in
Okay.
mind.
Yeah,
yeah.
me too.
Yeah, definitely. I did see that, that Instagram account Puberty,
Hmm.
uh through voting, they voted Home Alone as the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Which
Interesting.
okay, I found interesting, but that's we'll leave that for another episode, I suppose.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not hating it, but I think
You
it
said
could have
said of
been.
all time.
Yeah, it was like a bracket, and they had like 32 movies that started the whole bracket, and it ended up. I think that one went up against. It was the final two was Home Alone and Christmas Story.
No, the Home Alone and the night the Nightmare Before
Oh, nice. So
Christmas,
yes, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah,
Oh, that's
which
definitely winning.
yeah,
Home Alone is winning.
yeah. But like,
I
Die Hard beat like Miracle on 34th Street, which is
Yeah, there's definitely, I don't know, in my opinion, there's of all time is crazy, I think.
yeah of all
yeah,
time. Yeah,
you know what? I definitely didn't like that list. I thought that, and I'm a huge Die Hard fan, right? But for me, Miracle on 34th is like a pinnacle Christmas movie, as well as the Christmas Story. So the fact that those two did not make it all the way to the end just showed a lot about the voters on this list. So,
yeah,
like I said, something to discuss next time, I suppose.
yep. So, yeah, guys, have a good week. Cinema Subway audience, as usual, follow us. Stay tuned for this episode, next episode, all the good stuff that we're creating for you guys. If you have any ideas you guys want us to talk about, put them in the comments. Reach out to us. We're available. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this episode. Guys, have a great one. Until next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Don't catch the arthritis.
Don't catch your arthritis. Copy. Gotcha.
Bye.
Later.